the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. I am Gourav Gupta and I welcome all of you once again to the last lap to IPMAT 2022 series that we are running for all of you to tackle this IPMAT examination, which is just a few days away from now. Now in this session of Algebra, ACE Algebra, we are going to look at some of the selected questions and for some of the selected questions from some of the selected topics that will come on your way in IPMAT examination. All right. Now friends, this is part 2 of ACE Algebra. In part 1, we have covered some of the topics, and in this session, we are going to cover the remaining topics of Algebra. So friends, welcome back all of you once again to the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. So if all of you can hear me, please confirm if I am audible and visible to all of you. Come on, please quickly confirm. Okay, now meanwhile, these are the topics that comes under algebra. Now some of the topics we have already covered in the last session. So if you will look at all these 6 topics on your screen now, so the first 3 topics, surds, indices and basics of algebra, equations, linear, quadratic and special equations, inequalities and maxima minima. These 3 topics were covered in part 1 of ACE algebra. Now in this part 2 of how to ace algebra, we are going to cover the next 3 topics, that is the functions and the graphs, progressions and logarithms. So in this session, the agenda will be, first of all, we'll discuss some of the very basics of these topics. Okay, and then what I'll do is I have selected some of the questions of these 3 topics and we'll be solving those questions. Okay. Now Shreyash, you are asking, sir, I am Rohtak mein aayenge kya ye topics? So yes, Shreyash, I am Rohtak. Definitely quant is a part of I am Rohtak, and there are 40 questions that comes in this section of quant. Okay, and yes, we can say that if not the most important topic, but still algebra is an important topic because you will find at least 8 to 10 questions from algebra coming on your way in IPM Rohtak examination. All right, so yes, we can say that this session will be helpful for all of you. Okay, so let us start with this session. So first of all, let us look at some of the important concepts and the formula for logarithms. Now I have selected a few properties of logarithms which are applicable in almost every question of logarithms. So the first property is log of b into c to the base a. It can be written as log b plus log c and the base will remain same. The second property is similar to the first property. It is log of b divided by c to the base a. So it will become log b minus log c, and again the base will remain same. The third property, log of b raised to the power c and the base is a. So the power of b, which is c, comes ahead and gets multiplied with this log function. So this power of c comes in front. Okay, so the value or this formula will become c multiplied by log of b to the base a. So these are some very basic properties of logarithms. All right. Okay, Neetu, good evening. Good evening. Now the students who have joined in just now, we have just started this session and I've started with some of the basic properties of the topics that we are going to deal with today. Now the next property of logarithms. Now in this case, log of c raised to the power d and the base also has a power b. Okay, so it can be written as log of c raised to the power d and the base is a whose power is b. Okay, now the power of c will come here and will be multiplied. It will come in the numerator and the power of the base will come in the denominator. All right, so you can write it as d upon b multiplied by log of c to the base a. All right, now moving on to the next property, a raised to the power log of b to the base a. So the power of a is log of b to the base a. One point to be noted here is this a and this a should be same. So these are two same numbers. So the answer will become b. So if you have something like, let's say 2 raised to the power log of 5 to the base 2. So since these two things are same, So this value will be equal to 5. You can write it directly. Okay. All right. Now moving on to the next property, similar to property number 5, but in this case, this and this part is not same. So it is of the form 2 raised to the power log of 5 to the base 3. Now this can be written as by exchanging this part and this part. Okay, you can exchange them and keep the remaining part of the expression same. So it will become 5 raised to the power log of 2 to the base 3. All right. Now, Shreyas, yes, you are right. Definitely, IPM Rohtak examinations level of difficulty is on a lower side as compared to IPM Indore. But definitely, you will find questions from algebra, right? Okay. Good evening, Abhishek. So these were the 6 properties of log that I wanted to tell you and needs to be remembered. Okay. Now let's move on and look at some of the important formula for progressions. Now in progressions, mainly we'll discuss arithmetic and geometric progressions. Okay. And you will also find some of the questions which are based on miscellaneous series. So some of the properties for arithmetic progressions. Number 1, how to find out the general term. So formula for general term, T nth is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, where T nth is the nth term, a is the first term, d is the common difference, n is the number of terms. Alright. Now the next formula is to find out the sum of first n terms of an arithmetic progression. Now the formula is, so there are 2 formulas for this. Number 1, it is n by 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, so where a, d and n are these terms. Okay, so a is the first term, d is the common difference, and n is the number of terms. The second formula is n by 2 bracket a plus l, where l is the last term of the series. Okay, so these are the 2 formulas for finding the sum of first n terms of an arithmetic progression. Now moving towards the formulas for geometric progression. Now the general term is given by a into r raised to the power n minus 1. A again the first term, r common ratio, and n is the number of terms. Okay. Next is sum of the first n terms of GP. So we have 2 different formulas depending upon the value of r. So the first formula, a bracket 1 minus r raised to the power n divided by 1 minus r. This formula will be used when r is less than 1. The second formula will be used when r is greater than 1. The formula is a bracket r raised to the power n minus 1 upon r minus 1. Now both are similar formulas, so if you can remember one of the formulas, you will not have any difficulty in remembering the second formula. Alright. Now moving ahead and looking at another formula for geometric progression which is commonly used, which is sum till infinite number of terms. So sum till infinite number of terms of a GP is given by a upon 1 minus r. A is the first term, r is the common ratio, and one very important thing to take care while you are applying this formula or while you are calculating the sum of infinite number of terms of a GP, that the GP should be a decreasing GP. Okay, so the value of r should be less than 1. If the value of r is greater than 1, then I can say that it will be a progressive GP, and you will never be able to estimate the value of the sum till infinite number of terms. And hence, if a GP is an increasing GP, then the sum till infinite number of terms will be infinity. Okay, so you can only find out the sum till infinite number of terms of a GP if the value of r is less than 1. All right. Okay, so these are some important formulas for progressions. Now let's have a look at some of the questions related to the formulas or the logics that we have discussed. All right. So the first question is there in front of you. I want each and every one to give your 100% in solving these questions. Now the first question is a very simple question. It says that if the sum of first 15 terms in an arithmetic progression is equal to the sum of first 20 terms, पहली 15 terms का sum equal है first 20 terms के sum के equal, okay, then its xth term is necessarily 0. you will have to find out the value of x. Now it's a pretty easy question. If you understand some of the logics of arithmetic progression, then it will be very simple for you to calculate this answer. Anybody would like to guess the value of x? Sum of first 15 terms is equal to the sum of first 20 terms it is given to us. Then they are saying that xth term is necessarily equal to 0. We have to find out which term will definitely be equal to 0. Alright, so let's start with this. So question says that sum of first 15 terms is equal to the sum of first 20 terms. Okay, I'm elaborating everything so that all of you will be able to understand each and everything. Okay, so sum of first 15 terms is equal to the sum of first 20 terms. Now this can be written as sum of first 15 terms is equal to sum of first 20 terms can be sum of first 15 terms plus 16th term, 17th term, 18th, 19th and 20th term. Alright, now these two are equal. Now on both sides I have sum of first 15 terms which will get cancelled. So I can say that the sum of 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th term, this sum will be equal to 0. Okay, so the sum of these 5 terms, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th term, this sum will be equal to 0. Alright, I hope everything is fine up till this point. Now if all these terms are in arithmetic progression and their sum is equal to 0, then we can say that the middle term here, that means the 18th term, has to be equal to 0. So 18th term, the middle term will be equal to 0. No नीतू फिजिक्स से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते इस एग्जामिनेशन में. You will not get any question which is related to physics in this examination. So this is the examination of quant, reasoning and verbal aptitude. Okay, all right, so the 18th term will be equal to 0, so we can say that the value of x will be equal to 18. Okay, so the correct answer for this question will be 18. Let's move on and look at the next question, question number 2. Now we have to find out the sum till 19 terms of this series. Just ignore this part. So find the sum of the following series. So sum of the terms, the first 4 terms are given and you have to find out the sum of this series up till the first 19 terms. Find out the sum of this entire series up till first 19 terms. Okay. Now let's see how to deal with such questions. Now this is basically a miscellaneous series. Alright. Now I can write 1 upon 21 as 1 upon 3 into 7. Then 1 upon 77 as 1 upon 7 into 11. Further, 1 upon 165 can be written as 1 upon 11 into 15 and so on. Now in the middle there will be a plus sign, definitely. Okay, so the next term, if I'll write, it will be 1 upon 15 into 18. So it will be 15 into 19. All right, now it is important to find out the last term here. Now the last term is the 19th term. Okay, now let's look at the pattern here. In the first term I have 3, in the second term I have 7, in the third term I have 11, then 15 and so on. Alright, now this basically, the terms that I have circled, they are forming an arithmetic progression whose first term is 3 and the common difference is 4. Okay, so using this you can find out the 19th term. So 19th term here in the denominator will be if you will look at this part of the series only, so iska 19th term calculate kar lete hain. So a plus n minus 1 into the common difference. All right. So it will be 3 plus 18 into 4. That is 3 plus 72, and that is 75. So I can write 19th term, the last term, as 1 upon 75 multiplied by 79. Okay, so this is how I have calculated the 19th term of this series. Now you will have to find out the sum of all these terms. Now in such a question, it is very important to write the last term. Okay, I have done that. Now, what I'll now do is, since the difference between the terms in the denominator in every term, in every case, is 4. So what you can do is you can multiply all these terms by 4 and divide them by 4. So I have taken 1 upon 4 common outside, and I have written it as 4 upon 3 into 7 plus 4 upon 7 into 11. You will understand the reason why I have done that. 11 into 15 and so on. Similarly with the last term, 4 upon 75 into 79. Okay. Now let's pick up one of these terms from this expression. So let's say I'm picking up this term. Look at the right hand side of the screen. So 4 upon 11 into 15 can be written as, so in the numerator 4 can be written as 15 minus 11. 4 को मैंने 15 minus 11 लिख दिया. So what I have done is I have written the numerator as the difference of the denominators. Okay, so 15 minus 11 upon 11 into 15. Okay, now separate the numerators. So it will become 1 upon 11 minus 1 upon 15. All right. So 4 divided by 11 into 15, I have converted it and have written it as 1 upon 11 minus 1 upon 15. Now the same thing will happen with every term. So this expression, entire expression, will become 1 upon 3 minus 1 upon 7. This is the first term, plus 1 upon 7 minus 1 upon 11, plus 1 upon 11 minus 1 upon 15, and so on. The last term will become 1 upon 75 minus 1 upon 79. Now all the terms inside the bracket will get cancelled except the first and the last term. So 1 upon 7 and 1 upon 7 minus 1 upon 7 plus 1 upon 7 will get cancelled. Minus 1 upon 11 and plus 1 upon 11 will get cancelled. So up till 1 upon 75, all these terms in the middle will get cancelled. And finally, I'll be left with the expression 1 upon 4 bracket 1 upon 3 minus 1 upon 79. The difference between the first and the last term inside the bracket. Okay, अब इसको क्या करना है, simplify करना, and you will obtain your answer easily. आराम से आंसर आ जाएगा. Okay, so 1 upon 4 bracket 79 minus 3 will be 76 divided by 3 into 79. Okay, now 4 and 76 will get cancelled. It will come out to be 19 divided by 237. So 19 divided by 237 will be the final answer, which is option number C. All right. So option C, that is 19 divided by 237, is the correct answer for this question. Okay. Now these questions definitely will appear in your examination. I have picked some of them from the previous year papers of IPMAT only. Okay. So let's move on to question number 3. Now question number 3 is a very easy question of logarithms. We have seen the properties, okay, and if you have studied logarithm even for one day, you will be able to simplify this question easily. So let's have a look at it. So the left hand side of this equation is log of x to the base 5. Then minus sign log of x to the base 25, log of x to the base 125, 625, 3125. Now these are the bases. So what we can do is, first of all, quickly convert all these terms in the same base. Okay. For example, if I'll consider log of x to the base 125, this term, I've taken one of the terms. I can write it as log of x to the base 5 cube. 125 can be written as 5 cube. Okay. Now we have seen in the properties of logarithms that the power of the base comes in the denominator. So it will become 1 upon 3 log of x to the base 5. Okay, fine. So the first term here will remain as it is. I'm writing at the top log of x to the base 5. Second term log of x to the base 25 will become 1 upon 2 log of x to the base 5. The third term we have already seen 1 upon 3 log of x to the base 5. In the fourth term 625 is 5 raised to the power 4. So 1 upon 4 will come in front. And for the last term 1 upon 5 will come in front. Okay, fine. So I can say that this entire expression, I'll take log of x to the base 5 common. 1 minus 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 3 minus 1 upon 4 plus 1 upon 5. This will be the expression, and that is equal to 47 upon 120. Okay. Manas, you are asking कि मैंने graduation कहाँ से किया? Manas, it does not make any difference. I have done my graduation 15 years back. Okay, so I finished my graduation. I finished my engineering, computer science engineering in 2007, and since then I'm teaching. So I'm teaching since 2008 in this profession. Okay, so actually मैंने graduation कब किया है, कहाँ से किया है, क्या किया है, it does not matter at all at this point in time. Now let's simplify whatever there is inside the bracket. So log of x to the base 5 as it is लिख दिया मैंने, and then LCM of these terms in the denominator will be 60. So it will be 60 minus 30 plus 20 minus 15 plus 12 is equal to 47 upon 120. Simplifying it further, so log of x to the base 5 as it is inside the bracket, it will be 30 plus 20, 50, 45, 35 and 12, 47. So 47 upon 60 equals to 47 upon 120. Now 47 will get cancelled and log of x to the base 5 will be equal to 1 upon 2. So from here the value of x will come out to be 5 raised to the power 1 upon 2, or it can be written as under root 5. Okay, so under root 5 is among the options and we had to calculate the value of x. So yes, the correct answer for this question will be option C. Okay, now this question was pretty simple and can be done in less than a minute. Okay, you don't have to write the complete expressions, you just write the most important parts and try to save your time, and this can be done in around 45 seconds to 1 minute. Okay, let's move on and look at the next question, question number 4. Now question number 4 is based on finding the common terms in arithmetic progression. So two APs are given and this question is based on finding the number of common terms. The direct answer will not be the number of common terms. It is based on finding the number of common terms. All right. Okay. So let's have a look at how to deal with this type of question. Now in this question, you are given two different arithmetic progressions, which are, the first one is 4, 7, 10. There is a common difference of 3. So 13, 16, 19 and so on up till 50th term. So first of all, I'll calculate the 50th term of the first arithmetic progression. ठीक है, first progression का 50th term, last term calculate कर लेते हैं. So it will be 50th term is equal to a, which is 4, plus n minus 1, which is 50 minus 1, multiplied by the common difference, which is given as 3. Okay, so 4 plus 49 into 3, that is 147, and that will be 151. So 151 will be the last term or 50th term of the first arithmetic progression that is given in our question. Okay, now let's talk about the second arithmetic progression, which is B. So B is 9, 16, 23 and so on and this expression, or sorry, this progression has 30 terms in total. Okay, so let's find out the 30th term here for the second arithmetic progression. Now here the first term is 9 plus n minus 1, which is 30 minus 1, multiplied by the common difference. Common difference in this case is equal to 7. So 9 plus 29 into 7. Okay, so it will be 9 plus 29 into 7. कैसे कर सकते हैं? 30 into 7 is 210 minus 7, so 203. So it will come out to be 212. All right. So here the last term will be 212, which is the 30th term. Now we have to find out the number of common terms here. So first of all, I'll write some of the common terms. Now no need to write a lot of common terms. You just need to look at the first common term in these two series and the last common term in these two series. Okay. So the first common term, you can already see that it is 16. Just by observation, it is in front of us. So let's write common terms. So in common terms, the first common term is 16, and I'll just look at the last common term. Okay. Now last common term can be obtained from which of these series? Last common term can be obtained from the series A. Now series A is ending first. It is ending at 151, and series B is going till 212. So we'll observe the terms of series A. Last term kitna tha? 151. I'll write some of the terms before this. So at a common difference of 3, 148, 145, 142, and so on. I'll check which of these terms in the end is of the form of series B. Okay, now series B में अगर आप सारी की सारी terms observe करोगे, now series B has a common difference of 7. So you can write each and every term of series B as something plus a multiple of 7. So multiple of 7 plus something, इस तरीके से आप लिख सकते हो. So every term in this series is 2 plus a multiple of 7. So 7 plus 2 is 9, 14 plus 2 is 16, 21 plus 2 is 23, and so on. Now in the similar manner, go back to series A and start checking from the end which is the term of the form 7k plus 2. So 151 is not, 148 no, 145 nahi hai, 142 is of the form 7k plus 2. So the first common term will be 16 and the last common term will be 142. Alright, now to find out the number of common terms, I can say that all the common terms will also form an arithmetic progression whose common difference will be the LCM of the common difference of the first and the second series given above. So here the common difference for this series of common terms will be equal to the LCM of 3 and 7, which is equal to 21. Okay, so these common terms will also form an arithmetic progression. These common terms will also form an arithmetic progression whose common difference, थोड़ा सा confusing हो रहा है, ठीक है? So whose common difference will be equal to 21. Alright, so let's see how many terms will be common. So nth term 142 is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. d is 21 here. Okay, so n का value कितना आ जाएगा? It will come out to be 7. So there are 7 terms which are common. Okay, now we have to find out the number of terms in A union B. So A union B is A plus B minus A intersection B. Now what is the number of terms in A? Number of terms in A is 50. Number of terms in B is 30. And number of terms in A intersection B, that means the common terms. Common terms kitni hai? 7. So 50 plus 30 minus 7 will be the number of terms in A union B, and that will come out to be 73. So yes, 73 will be the correct answer for this question. Alright. Now the students who are looking for an admission in IIM Indore through IPMAT Indore examination, now this series of questions are very important for all of you. No श्रेयश, इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस स्किप मत करो, because in IPM Indore you will get these type of questions. A lot of questions will be of this type. This is lengthy, I agree Shreyash. Okay, this is lengthy, but this is not at all difficult. Okay, so if you'll practice this question properly, then you will be able to tackle these questions in the examination as well. And right now we are in the mode of preparation, so you never know कि इससे थोड़ा सा easy question आ जाए similar type का. So at least examination से पहले, at the time of preparation, you must understand all these logics. Okay, all right, so the correct answer was 73, option B. Now let's move on to the next question, question number 5, which is based on functions. Now a function fx is given as 9 raised to the power x divided by 9 raised to the power x plus 3, and we have to find out the value of this expression. Now in this expression, if you'll observe, the first term is f of 1 upon 662, and the last term is f of 661 upon 662. Okay, now the logic says that if this is f of x, if the first term is considered as f of x, then the last term can be written as f of 1 minus x. Okay, so first term and last term will combine. So for that I need to find out the value of f of 1 minus x. ठीक है? Then second and second last term combine हो सकती हैं, third and third last term combine हो सकती हैं, and so on. A series in which two terms can be combined can be formed in this question. Okay, now for this we have to find out the value of f of 1 minus x. So let's do that first of all. Okay, now f of x is given up there. So f of 1 minus x. Now these are some typical type of questions. अब इसमें hardly 30-40 seconds लगेंगे आपको f of 1 minus x calculate करने में, and immediately in another 10 seconds this question will be over. So f of 1 minus x can be written as 9 raised to the power of 1 minus x divided by 9 raised to the power 1 minus x plus 3, which can further be written as 9 upon 9 raised to the power x upon 9 upon 9 raised to the power x plus 3. Taking 9 raised to the power x LCM in the denominator and cancelling it out, so it will become 9 upon 9 plus 3 multiplied by 9 raised to the power x. Now cancel out 3, so 3 upon 3 plus 9 raised to the power x, or I can write it as 3 upon 9 raised to the power x plus 3. Now look at f of x and f of x minus 1. So if I'll add these two, f of x plus f of 1 minus x, f of x plus f of 1 minus x, इन दोनों को add करूंगा. So this term and this term will get added and it will become equal to 1. Alright, okay. So every two terms will combine and their value will be equal to 1. How many terms are there inside the bracket? Inside the bracket there are 661 terms. So the sum of all the terms inside the bracket, starting from f of 1 upon 662, f of 2 upon 662, and so on up till f of 661 upon 662. Since the number of terms is 661 and every two terms are combining to give me a value of 1, so the sum inside the bracket will be 661 divided by 2, and we have to multiply this value by 2, so the final answer here will be 661. Okay, so 661 will be the correct answer for this question. Now this is one very typical question that you will see a lot of times in this examination, okay, from the chapter of functions. So बहुत typical question है and कितना easy है, lengthy भी नहीं है ज़्यादा, and we can finish it in less than 1 minute if we already know the direction in which we'll have to move. Okay, so finally answer is 661. All right. Okay, now let's move on to next question, question number 6. Again, क्वेश्चन लुक्स डिफिकल्ट बट इट इज एक्चुअली वेरी इजी, बहुत इजी क्वेश्चन है. Okay, now they are talking about a geometric progression which has 24 terms. Also, the product of first, fifth, 10th, 15th, 20th and 24th term, in 6 terms का product दिया हुआ है आपको 64. Assuming that the product of all the terms, all the 24 terms is capital A, we have to find out the value of log of fourth root of a to the base under root 2. अब क्वेश्चन देखने में बहुत मुश्किल बनाया हुआ है. Now you don't have to lose your morale by looking at these questions. ऐसे क्वेश्चन सबसे ज्यादा इजी होते हैं. ओके, एक सिंपल प्रॉपर्टी पता होनी चाहिए ज्योमेट्रिक प्रोग्रेशंस की, which I am writing right now. So I'll tell you this property just by giving you an example. Okay, so consider a geometric progression. Let's say 3, 6, 12, 24. So what I'm doing is I'm doubling every term. 48, 96. Let's consider these 6 terms. Now the product of first and last term in a geometric progression will be equal to the product of second and second last term, which will again be equal to the product of third and third last term, and so on. It will keep on happening in case of a geometric progression. So the product of the terms which are equidistant from the ends will always be equal. All right. Okay. Now let's consider the product that is given to us in the question. Let's look at the product that is given to us in this question. Now T1, T5, T10, T15, T20 and T24. इन सब प्रोडक्ट्स का सम प्रोडक्ट दिया हुआ है 64. ठीक है, द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ ऑल दीज टर्म्स इज गिवन एज 64. नाउ कंसिडर दीज टर्म्स, फर्स्ट एंड द 24th term, the first and the last term, fifth term from the beginning and fifth term from the end. The 20th term will be the fifth term from the end, and 10th term from the beginning and 10th term from the end. इन 3 ग्रुप्स का प्रोडक्ट दिया हुआ है 64. So the product of 3 groups is given as 64. I can write it as 4 raised to the power 3. The product of 3 groups is 4 cube. Now if you look at the product of all the 24 terms starting from T1, T2 up till T4, T24. Okay, so here if you'll combine the first and the last term, second and second last term, third and third last term, so how many groups you will get? You will get 12 groups. Okay, you will get 12 groups. So 3 groups का product 4 cube है. So 12 groups का product कितना हो जाएगा? 4 raised to the power 12. Simple as that. So the value of A will come out to be 4 raised to the power 12, or I can write it as 2 raised to the power 24. सिंपल चल रहा है, ठीक है. नाउ ए का वैल्यू पता लग गया, कैलकुलेट करना है लॉग ऑफ फोर्थ रूट ऑफ ए टू द बेस अंडर रूट 2. नाउ फोर्थ रूट ऑफ ए, सो इफ ए इज 2 raised to the power 24, so fourth root of a, that means a raised to the power 1 upon 4 will be equal to 2 raised to the power 6. So log of 2 raised to the power 6 and the base is 2 raised to the power half. 6 will come in the numerator and half will go in the denominator. Log of 2 to the base 2. Now 6 divided by half will be 12. Log of 2 to the base 2 will be equal to 1. So the final answer for this question will be equal to 12, and that is option D. Okay, am I clear? So again क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी था, एक बार दोबारा देखते हैं सॉल्यूशन. क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी था. We just need to know a very basic property related to geometric progression. Now the property that I have told you in geometric progression is one of the most basic properties of GP. Okay, so इतना कुछ difficult नहीं था इस क्वेश्चन में, right? Okay, so the correct answer here was option D, that is 12. Now with this, let's move on to our next question. which is a wonderful question related to modulus function and the concept of coordinate geometry. Okay. Now find the number of integral coordinates lying in the region represented by the inequations modulus of x minus y less than equal to 5 and modulus of x plus 5 less than equal to 5. So x minus y and x plus y इन दोनों का modulus है and this is less than or equal to 5. Now first of all we'll plot for this one. Okay, इसको plot कर लेते हैं. So modulus of x minus y less than equal to 5 और less than की जगह अगर equal to भी लिख लेते हैं just to plot the lines which are represented by this equation. Now modulus of x minus y can be written as x minus y और मैं इक्वालिटी का साइन डाल रहा हूं इक्वल टू +5 x minus y equal to -5. Okay, these are the two equations and the next two equations will be x plus y equal to 5 and x plus y equal to -5. Okay, now each of these will give you two different inequalities or you can say two different equations. Now let's plot all these four equations on the coordinate axis. ठीक है? So if I draw the coordinate axis, x axis and y axis, now the first line x minus y equal to 5. Now simple है plot करना. एक line को plot करने के लिए मुझे दो points चाहिए. So if I'll put y as 0, x will be equal to 5. If I'll put x as 0, y will be equal to -5. So the line will be something like this. Similarly, I can plot x minus y equal to -5. Okay. So if y equal to 0, x will be equal to -5. And if x is equal to 0, y will be equal to 5. So the second line will be like this. Similarly, I'll plot the other two lines x plus y equal to +5 and x plus y equal to -5. Okay. And these two lines will be, the first line is this x plus y equal to 5 and the second line x plus y equal to -5. Now you will have to find out the number of points having integral coordinates which are lying inside this region as well as on this region, because actually I have less than equal to. So less than equal to, that means on or inside these lines. All right, on or inside the area enclosed by these lines. We have to find out the number of points. Okay. Now first of all I'll look at the first quadrant. First quadrant में कितने points होंगे? I will not include the points which are lying on the x-axis and y-axis. X और y-axis को consider नहीं करेंगे. So 1 point will be here, then 2 points, then 3 points, and then 4 points. Okay, because coordinate axis पे x-axis पे 5 points होंगे. So 5 से ऊपर वाली line पे 4 points होंगे. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are how many points? 10 points. So there will be 10 points each which will lie on all the four quadrants. So number of points कितने हो गए? 10 into 4, that is 40. Okay. Now on positive side of x-axis I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5, 0. So there will be 5 points here. Similarly on the y-axis, positive y-axis, there will be 5 points because this is 0, 5. Similarly on negative x-axis and negative y-axis I will have 5 points each. So the number of points will be 5 into 4, that is 20. And finally one more point which is origin will also be included. Okay, so the total number of points here will be 40 plus 20 plus 1, that is 61. Now once again, first of all I've just considered the first quadrant excluding positive x and positive y axis. Okay, so I have taken all the points which are strictly lying in the first quadrant. These were 10 multiplied by 4 in all the four quadrants will get you 40. Now looking at all the points which are lying on the x axis and the y axis, एक्सक्लूडिंग ओरिजिन, अभी ओरिजिन को नहीं ले रहा मैं, ठीक है। So on positive side of x-axis there will be 5 points. Likewise there will be 5 points on negative x, positive y and negative y. So there will be 5 into 4, 20 points. And then finally 1 point being the origin will also be added. So the total number of points will count to 61, which is option B in this case. Okay. So the correct answer here is option B, that is 61. Now, some of you who would have seen this question earlier must have thought that this question is very difficult. But if you'll solve it systematically, then nothing will be difficult for any one of you. Okay. Let's move on to next question, question number 8. Now, question number 8 is a lengthy question. Now, this question can be left behind, but you can always come back to this question because this question is a particular, like a typical type of question which will follow a particular technique to solve, and the technique is not at all difficult. Okay, so very straightforward question, zyada difficult nahi hai, but thoda sa lengthy ho jata hai. Okay, now we have to find out the sum till infinite number of terms of a series like this. Now you can say that the numerators as well as denominators, they are forming separate series. Okay, so I'll assume that x is equal to the sum of this series, which is 1 plus 4 upon 9, 9 upon 9 square, 16 upon 9 cube, 25 upon 9 raised to the power 4, and so on up till infinity. Now, as a first step, what you will do is you just quickly have a look at what is the common ratio. So yes, again, yes, we can skip this one, but it should be important for all of us to understand, to know how to solve these questions. You never know that all the questions may be difficult, and at the end of the day, you'll have to attempt this type of question in the examination. Okay, so the first step will be find the common ratio here. Common ratio of this series is 1 upon 9, and multiply this entire series by this common ratio. So on the left hand side, it will become x upon 9, and multiplying every term of this series by 1 upon 9, but we will not write them immediately below the respective terms. So I'll multiply 1 by 9 and will write it one step ahead. So it will become 1 upon 9 plus, again 4 upon 9 को 1 upon 9 से multiply करेंगे, it will become 4 upon 9 square, and I'll write it one step ahead. So likewise, every term will be written one step ahead. Okay, so next will be 9 upon 9 cube, 16 upon 9 raised to the power 4, and so on up till infinity. Now perform subtraction of these two equations. So on the left hand side, I will get 8 upon 9x. On the right hand side, 1 minus nothing, 1 के नीचे कुछ नहीं है, so it will remain 1. 4 by 9 minus 1 by 9 will become 3 by 9. 9 by 9 square minus 4 by 9 square will be 5 upon 9 square. Next, 16 minus 9 is 7 upon 9 cube. Next, 25 minus 16 will be 9 upon 9 raised to the power 4, and so on up till infinity. Now, after obtaining this, just repeat whatever you have done one more time. एक बार और repeat करो. So again, I'll multiply the entire left hand side and right hand side by the common ratio, which was 1 upon 9. So I'll get 8 upon 81 x on the left hand side. On the right hand side, I'll do the same thing. I'll multiply every term by 1 by 9 and will write it one step ahead. Okay, so it will become 1 upon 9 plus 3 upon 9 square plus 5 upon 9 cube plus 7 upon 9 raised to the power 4, and so on up till infinity, and again perform subtraction. Okay, so on the left hand side, 72 minus 8, 64 upon 81x is equal to, on the right hand side, 1 will come as it is, plus 3 minus 1 is 2, so 2 upon 9. Now you will observe that all the numerators will be same. 2 upon 9 square, 2 upon 9 cube, 2 upon 9 raised to the power 4, and so on up till infinity. Okay. Now let's write this part once again on the next slide. So this will become 64 upon 81. 64 upon 81 x is equal to 1 plus 2 upon 9 plus 2 upon 9 square, 2 upon 9 cube, and so on up till infinity. So you can say that the portion that I have kept in the bracket is forming an infinite geometric progression. Okay, so let's find the sum. So 1 plus infinite GP का sum क्या होता है? A upon 1 minus R. So A in this case is 2 upon 9 divided by 1 minus R. So 1 minus common ratio is 1 upon 9. So 64 upon 81x is equal to 1 plus 1 upon 4, that is equal to 5 upon 4. So the value of x will come out to be 81 into 5, that is 405, divided by 64 into 4, which is 256. So this will be the value of x, 405 upon 256, yes, which is there in the options. Now this is the only way of solving these type of questions. This is again a typical question, and yes, most of the times I have seen this type of question coming from miscellaneous series in progressions in this examination. Okay, fine. Now let's move further and look at question number 9. Now question number 9 is a very easy question based on functions. दो line का question है सिर्फ. Now they have defined f of x into y as f of x plus f of y. फाइन. सो अगर यहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट है, मल्टीप्लाई हो रहे हैं, तो फंक्शन सेपरेट हो जाएंगे एंड ऐड हो जाएंगे. सो यू कैन से दैट f ऑफ x डॉट y डॉट z, अगर 3 मल्टीप्लाई हो रहे हैं तो इट विल बिकम f ऑफ x प्लस f ऑफ y प्लस f ऑफ z. I can use this function recursively. Okay. Given that f of 27 is equal to 54, we have to find out the value of f of 243. Now just observe this thing. 27 can be written as 3 into 3 into 3. 27 is a power of 3, as well as 243. 243 is 3 raised to the power 5. Okay. So f of 27 can be written as f of 3 multiply 3 multiply 3, which using this above definition of the function can be written as f of 3 plus f of 3 plus f of 3, which can be written as 3 times f of 3, which is given equal to as 54. So I can say that the value of f of 3 will be equal to 54 divided by 3, that is 18. Alright, 18 आ गया f of 3 का value. Now for f of 243, I can write it as f of 3 multiply 3 multiply 3 multiply 3 multiply 3 5 times. So it will become 5 times f of 3 using the above function. Now f of 3 का value 18 है, substitute कर लो. So the final answer will be 5 multiply 18, and that is equal to 90. So simple, straightforward question. Functions देखने में difficult लगते हैं, but actually में बहुत easy होते हैं. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the next question, the final question for the day. Question number 10. Now this is again one example of a question which looks very difficult. Okay. Now first of all, I'll explain you the logic that I'll be using in this question. Now this is a cubic equation. I'm writing the general form of a cubic equation: ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d equal to 0. Now if alpha, beta and gamma are the roots of this equation, then the sum of the roots, which is alpha plus beta plus gamma, is equal to minus b upon a. Next is sum of the roots taking two roots at a time, that means alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha. will be equal to C upon A. And finally, the product of the roots, taking all roots at a time, alpha into beta into gamma will be equal to minus D upon A. So this is the logic that I'll be using for this question. The question says that if the roots of the given equation are in geometric progression, then the common ratio of that GP can be which among the following? Now, one of the ways of dealing with this question is factorize this entire equation. This is a cubic equation, so it will take a lot of time to factorize this. Find the roots of this equation and GP mein honge, whatever the GP is, calculate the common ratio of that GP. Now, what I will do is I'll use the logic that I have just told you. I'll first of all write sum of the roots, alpha plus beta plus gamma. Sum of the roots will be minus b upon a, that is 26. Also, I'll write product of the roots, alpha into beta into gamma, which will be minus d upon a, that is 216. Now, product of the roots are, the product of the roots is 216. And these roots are in geometric progression. So I can say that middle wala jo bhi root hoga, okay, that will be cube root of this number, which is 6. Okay, so middle wala jo root hai wo to 6 ho gaya. Ab isse pehle aur iske baad ki terms likhni hai. So I'll just write 6 into 6 into 6 as 216. Now I'll do a little bit of hidden trial to obtain the value of alpha, beta and gamma. मिडिल रूट तो चेंज नहीं होगा, ये तो बीटा ही रहेगा, ये तो 6 ही रहेगा. ओके, नाउ लेट्स टेक आउट 2 फ्रॉम हियर. यहां से 2 निकाल के इसको 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर देते हैं. सो दिस विल बिकम 3, 6, 12. नाउ दिस इज एन these three numbers are in GP. Now is their sum equal to 26? Sum of the roots should be 26. So 3, 6 and 12 का sum 26 नहीं है, this is 21. So this cannot be taken. So मैंने क्या किया, यहां से 6 में से 2 को निकाला और यहां पे मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया. ओके, अगेन अब क्या करो, 6 में से 3 को निकालो और मल्टीप्लाई कर दो. सो 2, 6, 18, these numbers will come, and upon checking you will see that their sum is equal to 26. So yes, these are the three roots, 2, 6 and 18, or they can be 18, 6 or 2. Okay, now in this case the common ratio can be 3, and in the second case common ratio will be 1 upon 3. Now check among the options, 3 or 1 upon 3. 3 is present among the options and that will be the answer. Now you would have taken a lot of time to find out the roots of the equation, okay, by using factorization. I have done a little bit of hidden trial to make this process a little faster. All right. So that is all about these 10 questions of algebra, and these were the two parts of acing the algebra, that is from IPMAT, Indore and Rohtak examination. All right. Now, if you have missed the first part of algebra, please go back and attend that. You will find it on YouTube on the same channel on which you are attending this lecture. Okay. So that's it all. That's all from my side, my dear friends. Now this is the list of sessions for the next 5 days, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. You can catch me once again on 15th of June, that is day after tomorrow, with the third part of logical reasoning score maximizer. Alright, you can note down the entire schedule for the next 5 days. Also, don't forget to join us for IPMAT Rohtak 2022 first impression and the detailed analysis on 26th of June. And the same thing will happen for IPMAT Indore 2022 on 2nd of July. So please join us live on YouTube for the complete detailed analysis of these two examinations on 26th June and 2nd of July. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you will not miss any of the upcoming sessions. Follow us on Insta, like us on Facebook, and join our Telegram group and download our app from Google Play Store. That's all from my side, my dear friends. Thank you very much. Yes, Shubhra, these type of questions, they might come in JIPMAT, but JIPMAT ka level of difficulty thoda sa easy hota hai, and we have other sessions for JIPMAT as well on the same channel. so you can have a look at those sessions. All right. So friends, all the very best for all of you to for this examination. We'll see you once again with another session. Thank you very much for now.